gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house. Even you have to win.
All right, now, yes, we're live. Hello. Hey!
Time is proceeding apace in real time.
In real time. So this week we have a guest. This week, surprise, surprise. We did a clip show last week.
Right.
Because
it's come to this.
Yeah, it's come to this. ...
Yeah,
exactly. Well, it was my brother had a kid, so I flew out to New York.
Mazel tov. by the way.
Gracias. So I wasn't around to do that. So we have the great Michael Swaim here. Everybody.
Oh my God. Delighted to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
In rarefied air.
Yes. Yeah. Here in my backyard.
I like to think Bob Saget's ass occupied the same space at some previous date.
Yeah.
Ooh. I just felt a chill from my ass up to the crown of my head.
You got that Saget chill?
Yeah, that Saget bump.
Classic Saget.
It's wholesome and yet somehow dirty underneath. It's that kind of chill.
Yeah. That's my Swaim. So welcome to my humble abode. You get to see my backyard. Yeah, look at that. We have shades everywhere. We're just coming out of summer, but we put shades above the pool, in the corner, up here. I guess I am Irish, German, Norwegian. None of those things are conducive to sunlight.
Yeah, you have an elaborate system of things to enjoy the sun while keeping it off of you directly.
Yeah, exactly. I like to look at the sun.
It's
really.
nice that you still appreciate it, though.
Yeah,
you still find a way to worship the sun. You're just like, not on me, please.
But just not the ew. Ew, sun. So, yes, we meant to have you on like 2 weeks ago. You said you were sick.
Yes.
What kind of sick were you?
Oh, my God. Well, this is a crazy story. My girlfriend started having symptoms that are like heart attack-like.
Oh.
And spoiler alert, to cut the tension, they determined it wasn't a heart attack. It's not a blood clot. Might be some kind of panic attack thing she's getting into.
She is dating you after all.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm very loud. I flash lots of bright lights constantly.
Yeah.
Could be epilepsy. But no, I took her to the ER and we stayed overnight while they determined that she's basically okay. But I picked up viral pneumonia at the ER. So just don't treat sick people like the sun. You can appreciate and look at them, but not
just through something else.
Yeah.
Through some kind of filter.
The hospital is just, I don't know. As I hold my breath as I walk in, and I'm like, because I have pretty shitty immunity, so I'm like, I'm gonna go home with something. And this time it was rough. It was like 2 weeks of pneumonia.
Oh jeez, Like it was okay. So it was like mono or something like that. Like, I mean, did you just feel run down? Did you green stuff coming out of your nose?
Yes.
Yeah,
among other orify.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Did you send me pics?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. There's a whole, check out my Snapchat story. It's just green stuff oozing out. I mean, there's an audience for that. But, no, it was just like trying to podcast sounding like fucking Tom Waits, and like huge phlegmy coughs all the time.
Oh, nice. All right.
It was a delight.
Well, I'm glad you're doing...
It was a delight to be around.
I know. I'm glad you're doing better.
I'm feeling much better.
Because I'm supposed to do your podcast.
Yes.
I'm
very excited about that.
Yeah.
I hope. Well, you had a benefit because I was like, we had the delay and we want the memories to be fresh, but we're covering a movie you made. So I'm like, I'm sure he remembers this movie.
Yeah. Actually, that was my suggestion too. I said, I'll talk about Party Monster.
Yeah, sure. We're really excited to talk Party Monster.
Yeah, because actually, you know what? I haven't talked about that movie a lot in general. Yeah.
I was looking for other instances online to like make sure I'm not just asking you bullshit you've heard 1,000 times about that movie.
Yeah. No.
And you haven't actually talked that much about it. So it's free.
It's a cult classic. A lot of people will come up to me and ask me or just like, it's usually honestly, it's usually the kookier people like, I love Party Monster.
Okay.
It's like, okay, So it's a culty classic, but I don't people don't really ask about that so much.
Yeah, I saw when it came out and I remember liking it, but this watch through, my big takeaway was I was like, oh shit, Natasha Leone is the pierced lady chopping drugs.
Yeah, in a fat suit.
Amazing. Yeah. Very early Natasha Leone role.
Yeah, it was really funny because I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years. And she was really close with Chloe Sevigny during that production. And I'm close with Seth. And it's one of those things where I was like, you still talk to Chloe? She's like, yeah, we talk every day. And he's like, you talk to Seth? I go, yeah, we talk every day. You know?
Yeah.
So it's, well, because the thing is, when you
own her bird.
Yeah, exactly. I own her bird. But no, it's one of those things when you work on like, movies and you know, that kind of thing. It's summer camp. Your best friends, friends forever, and then like as soon as summer camp's over, and you intend to write every day, and like it kind of just happens, like but at the same time when you run into that person, seems like old times, but at the same time you're not as tight. It's summer camp.
There's this weird stereotype that relationships in this industry here are fake, and it is. It's weird. Sometimes you find yourself questioning, are all my friendships here fake?
Yeah.
But they're not. They're just highly fragmented. And it's like you said, when you get to cross paths again, it immediately picks up.
Yeah.
And it always ends with you going like, I can't believe like I don't engage with your energy more.
Every day.
Anyway, I'll see you in 5.5 years when we do a project together again.
Exactly.
And you live over there, but I'm busy.
I haven't seen Mandy Moore in like 12 years. But if I bump into her on an airplane, I'd be like, Mandy, what's up?
It's funny how quick it can happen because I come from Sketch World, and we've even done sketches where people got teary-eyed leaving, and you're like, bitch, we were only here for a day. Like, we don't even know each other. Why does this hurt? Why does it hurt to walk away?
So, fingertips leaving each other as you leave the room.
Like, I got to do my first fully nude comedy bit in front of Sam Richardson. And, like, as we left, and we already heard rumblings, like, he's going on to bigger things. He's getting talked about, Veep and et cetera. So he's going to be out of our, like, price range soon. So I hugged him, and I was like, I'll never be naked with you again.
Ever again. Yeah. You know every inch of my body.
Exactly. Except for the little beige cup thing.
Your little dancer's belt?
I pushed hard to not, because I'm a comedian who likes attention through spectacle, but everyone was like, no one gains, Mike. No one wants that.
Comedy out with your cock out.
Yeah, and it was a cold pond scene, so I was like, let me get naked, dive in, shrivel up, and we'll show full, like, tiny, embarrassing.
Does anyone have an ice pack around here?
Yeah. Like, little acorn dick, it's funny. And they're like, our editor's not going to let that on the site? What are you talking about?
But it'd be great. You wore the dance belt, but like, were you like unshaved? So it was like bushy. So like, you still got the whole, like you still got that.
At that time, I shaved, I believe.
Oh, there you go.
Simpler times.
I know. Those were the days.
Smoother days.
Smoother days.
No, now I'm bushy as fuck.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
This has been Mike's pubic update.
Yes, I know the fans have been, they're chomping at the bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wanting to know what your pube status is.
It's the number 2 is where's Daniel O'Brien, but number 1 is how those pubes.
Well, he just won a goddamn Emmy.
That's
what
true.
He did.
Emmy winner Daniel O'Brien.
I know,
very
so
proud.
cool. I know. I was very, very happy for him. Yeah, because he was writing for Bunny Ears for a while. He did our first horoscopes, which were just like, that's like the template for all of our future horoscopes.
Mm-hmm,
and he was one of those people I personally like recruited. I was like, I want, like this guy.
Yeah.
And then he got poached by John Oliver.
Yeah.
Like so.
HBO has that clout. They can just take anyone, rip them away.
I thought he was gonna stay, doing like, a couple of articles for Bunny Ears, but no, he went on to, win an Emmy, I guess.
Oh, but you still got a deep bench, man. Like everyone.
Yeah, no.
It's awesome following Bunny Ears just because it's like a huge, massive overlap with everyone I know.
Yeah.
And as you know, there was a certain date where many of them were laid off simultaneously. And it's been amazing to be like, oh, good, I can still get their writing.
Yeah.
Their comedy writing.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. It was actually funny because I started Bunny Ears and it was right as, like, Cracked went down. I mean, just even like I think there was even like an exodus from like the Onion even, and like all that kind of stuff. And it's one of those things where I'm like, great, there's all these great free agents out here. And then it dawns on me, I'm like, wait,
goddamn vulture.
But also at the same time, I'm sitting there going, wait, am I getting to this line of work when everyone else is getting laid off? What do I, what does everyone else know that I don't know? Essentially, like, why am I getting into the comedy website business when everyone's closing shop?
Well, that's partly why I went in the podcasting direction, because I had this, I'm like, I'm good at making sketches, and we still release sketches through our thing we have now. I don't know what to call it besides a thing. Content imprint, small beans, but
content imprint.
Yeah, exactly. But we're primarily podcasting, and that was that same impulse, because I'm just like, well, if everyone's getting laid off and kids on YouTube are watching less and less sketch and more 4-hour videos of a borderline racist guy just playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
maybe I'm away from the pulse now and I don't know what's going on.
Back in my day, we wrote comedy.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do podcasts because I still can wrap my head around them.
Yes.
I'm like a radiola show. Of course.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. The whole podcast thing, it was kind of confusing to me early on, too. It was like, it just sounds like talk radio.
Oh my God. Remember when it started and there were articles like podcasting? What is it?
What the hell is it?
What do you...
It's a radio show that's like just floats on the internet, I guess.
It was only like 15 years ago that everyone was listening to these on the radio.
Yeah,
There's no difference.
Yeah, no, they're not like floppy disks, you know. I mean, like they still exist.
I did finally meet a real kid who didn't understand what the save button, why is it that icon? What does that mean?
Oh, yeah,
the save button in every program, and you're like, that was the thing, man.
That was the way it was.
That was the thing with all your shit on it, dude.
Back in my day, when I was wearing Reebok pumps, you know,
That was the cloud.
That was the cloud of our time. Yeah, no, there was a professor at some university. I'm not sure if he still does it, but he comes out with a list every year of stuff that the incoming freshmen in college will not have known or whatever.
Ooh.
So like, you know,
I wanna see those.
Kurt Cobain was never alive when this college freshman year is coming in. You know, like none of them have ever seen a floppy disk in person.
Wow.
You know, like that kind of stuff. Like like audio cassettes were stopped being made at this time. And it's
the dial-up modem startup sound.
Yes.
It's not a joke they would recognize.
Listen,
stop using that punchline.
I was exactly. It doesn't work anymore. Exactly. Listen, I got married in 1998, and I remember like going on AOL and hearing the screeching sound. You know, during the honeymoon.
I did it as a punchline in a stand-up set once.
And
where the punchline was like, and I asked her blah blah blah, and all I got back was ee, bow, bow, bow. And then someone literally came up and was like, I love that part where you got really avant-garde and just made random noises. And I was like, random noises.
No, that was real life.
It's a huge part of my gateway to porn was that sound. That stood between me and physical relief.
And just waiting 20 minutes for a photo to load.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You'll still get that. I mean, I feel like something that actually was heartbreaking for me when I read an article about it was like, that actually it sounds true, is that we push technology as fast as, like the faster everything gets, the more we want.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's funny to me, there was a time in my childhood where I thought by the age I am now, there wouldn't be such a thing as it loads very slow. But there still fucking is all the time.
Yeah,
everything on my phone, Yeah,
no, I still have to buffer my buffer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm like, why is this so hard? All I want is for some mysterious ether from space to show me Brazil in high def on my phone right now. What is the fucking hold up?
It's not a big ask.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to watch a beach in Brazil in real time. That's all. No, we're fucking spoiled. But how old are you?
34.
Oh, wow. Geez.
Outlived Christ.
I know.
I did it, guys.
I know.
Did it.
Congratulations. You know
Thank
what? Fist bump. Yeah, there you
exactly.
go. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm 39.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm 5 years. We wouldn't even been in the same school. I would have graduated before you were a freshman.
I'm doing a bunch of math of trying to see how our milestones sync up and don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is something that, can you think of anything iconic that I wouldn't know? That's a slim gap, but I'm when you were first forming pop culture memories.
I mean, I mean, I still remember seeing Born in the USA on MTV when it was new.
Okay.
And We Are the World and things like that.
Yeah.
That's a little before you. That's what I mean. Those are early pop culture memories for me.
The first big music video experience in my memory was Doesn't Matter If You're Black or White with the Dee Snider opening.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's actually just called Black or White.
Sorry. Are you in that?
I'm in the video.
That's right.
I'm in the video.
There you go.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
that is not pandering. That's legit my first pop culture memory.
I was just about to say. Yeah, there you go. Well, you're welcome.
And I said it wrong.
Yeah, you did.
So MJ fans are going to come at me, but I can come back. So.
Oh, it's okay. I have no idea what that's like. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking to the wrong. Yeah.
You're like, what?
You're preaching the fucking choir.
Yeah.
So you touched on it, but you worked at Cracked.com for a number of years.
Oh yeah. depending on how you count it, like 10 to 13. Because
Jeez, really? I didn't even realize it was that long.
in college, my buddy Abe Epperson and I started a sketch troupe with a bunch of people who would end up being like the cast of Cracked. Not all of them, but there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
We had a troupe called Those Are Muskets, and we were the first people to start like just selling sketches to Cracked. So I don't know if that counts because I was still in college. But then the week
Freelance
after
work.
freelancing,
Yeah.
and then after we all graduated, a bunch of us moved to LA and took the job and sort of became the de facto video department.
Yeah.
And then I was head of the video department for some years until I couldn't handle the stress anymore. And DOB, which is what we call Daniel O'Brien, agreed to switch with me. And I was like, thank you, God.
Thank God.
And then I was sort of like a Don Draper type figure, meaning everyone there was either hired at the same time or earlier. So I just had to get X amount of shit done, but I came and went. No one was sure what my title was.
Yeah.
At one point, I was like videos are on the paperwork, but they just kept switching it up. Yeah.
Until you just floated in and out. Like,
Yeah, because it's true. Even though
you were a creative person.
Absolutely, and that's all I am, which is becoming an issue in therapy.
Yeah.
She's like, "Are there aspects of your core identity that aren't related to creating content?" And I'm like, "Let me show you a funny sketch I made about that."
It's funny. Yeah. I don't know. I like lemons.
Yeah, lemons are good. That's me.
So lemons and
guy.
comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's about it. Those are the two things I do.
But yeah, even though Cracked was a large imprint owned by an even larger conglomerate, at the ground level, it was very much like YouTube culture. All the people who
it seemed like a bunch of kids just doing some fun stuff.
We all wrote, shot, produced, directed, edited, like whatever you did it until the thing was done, which was a cool setup. Made for a lot of overwork, but
yeah, it didn't make your lives easy necessarily. But I mean, it was a fucking great run.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. No, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and there was a time we calculated like we have the most video credits on sketch and related videos because we were doing it for so long and at such a rapid clip that Abe and I have produced or been a major part of something like approaching 1,000 sketches now.
So is that like your IMDb page?
I don't know how those pop up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like fill it out myself. But it is funny to me what qualifies because I've made one indie feature and it's not on there. But like one of the 500 sketches I've made is like, don't forget though, he was Guy with Booger in Puddle of Mud sketch. And it's like, all right, great.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's funny. The Emmy win is nothing but joy.
That's so cool.
But I am envious that on the Cracked Wikipedia page, Daniel O'Brien's name, I believe, is the only one that's a link that goes to his own page. That was maybe Cody now, too.
Oh, yeah.
We're all trying to get Wikipedia verified. That's
is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, because the blue check marks now became uncool, I think, is my impression.
I am so out of freaking touch. That's why I actually have people who help me with this kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Blue check mark. All right, cool. Like now that's not cool. Okay, I don't know.
Take it off then.
I know. I'm too old for this stuff.
Yeah,
I really am. I'm like this. Yeah. No, yeah. I do social media for sometimes for shits and giggles,
for sure.
But also, it's like, let people know the stuff I'm working on. Like that's, I did it when I had my Pizza Underground band. It's like, okay, cool, that makes sense. We're to play in Madison, Wisconsin. Like, cool, there you go. Like, come to Madison.
Jeez, I see the connection.
Yeah. Exactly. And I get it, but for the most part, I'm an old man when it comes to this social media stuff.
Do you have feelings around 40? Like, is that's coming to you?
Totally.
Or do you not give a shit? Okay, you do give a shit.
No. I mean, I don't give a shit, but I'm just saying I'm definitely feeling my age. Is what it is.
All right.
No, I have feelings, and most of it's coming from my digestive tract.
Okay,
really,
physical feelings, literal feelings.
Yeah.
Are you someone who does like the big decade party? Like, will there be a special 40th? No?
Honestly, if it wasn't,
there's also an age where birthdays become meaningless, right? Like, who gives a shit?
If it wasn't for my lady, I would not do like birthdays.
Sure.
Like that. She's the one who kind of makes me at least do something.
Yeah.
We've been doing Medieval Times the last couple of years, which is a ball and a biscuit.
Yeah, I did that one time, And I just saw that across the street was the pirate one, and I never made it back, but I want to do the pirate one.
The pirate one's okay. I went to it like the first like month it opened. And it's pretty neat. Medieval Times is a little grander, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it's a bigger space, and
a turkey leg is always a good meal.
That's what I'm talking. Like exactly.
Like what do they serve at the pirate one? Do they try to theme it, or is it still just a turkey leg?
I couldn't tell you. It was
because
so
if it was like
long ago.
hardtack and grog, I'd be on board.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
let's go to this restaurant and have a terrible time.
Yeah, it's just a shot of rum.
Yeah.
Like just,
You
rum.
have to eat half a lemon or get scurvy.
Yeah,
they mug you on the way out.
Exactly. No, it was fun. I mean, there's a lot of people swinging on ropes. I remember that. There's definitely a lot of rope swinging.
That makes sense. We just did Universal Studios, and I can't. It's shocking that the Waterworld show is still there.
Holy shit! Is
a lot of rope swinging in that too.
Gee, that movie is what, like nearly a quarter of a century old.
That was that thing we were talking about because we were looking around at the audience, being like, "There's literally no way."
Nobody, like all these
Less
kids.
than half of the people here are even aware that this is based on anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of rope swinging, and then the other move is taking the jet ski around in a tight arc and splashing the audience.
Splashy poo.
Oh.
Yeah. Like Shamus.
Yeah. I'm all right with it. Not great with it. It's like the sun. I'd rather watch someone else get splashed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you said you just went to Universal. What were you doing? What were you doing?
Oh, well, actually, I'm trying to do, I guess I am a sentimental event guy because I'm about to move up to San Francisco.
You are?
Which I just learned very, very recently.
Is it girlfriend thing?
This is a scoop.
Is this a girlfriend thing?
No, that's the tragic part.
Oh.
She has to stay down here to work on a campaign she's involved in. Yeah, vote against letting them build another Supermax prison in L.A. County, by the way.
Okay.
But she's one of the leaders of that campaign. The anti that let's not have the prison.
Okay,
campaign.
I was going to say, I thought she was like, so you're dating a prison guard?
No, social worker.
Gotcha.
So other side of the coin. Goddamn cop hater. But
bleeding, that damn bleeding heart prison guard.
Oh, yeah, she's one of those. And that classic archetype of the super lib cucktard prison guard.
Yes.
So she's got to stay down for 5 months. So I'm going to be all alone.
What are you doing up there?
I'm moving up I'm doing basically what I did at Cracked, but for IGN now.
Really?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this yet. When does this come out? It'll be fun.
It'll be next week, but we can always cut any of this stuff. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to have announced it by next week, so that's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just found out. I just got the job. And yeah, like I said, it's just.
When did you get it? Like today?
They're like, like 2 days ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Look at you.
And they're like, what you did at Crack, just come do that. It'll be like that. So I think I'm just going to be making as many videos as I can, like I always have.
Because you have your YouTube channel where you're kind of pretty much doing after hours, but not after hours.
Yes, we have off hours, and we have a couple little like super easy to shoot series. Like we have one called Family Meeting that's just comedian friends having working out a problem via Skype. So that you just have the actor film it themselves.
There we go. That's easy peasy, yeah.
It's funny. We once got Jason Mewes for one of those, and we couldn't use the footage because he held the script in camera. I'm not trying to throw shade.
No.
But how did he not understand that didn't work?
That is so Muse.
Yeah, he is my muse, and that's very Muse.
It's very Muse. So you're going to continue to do that on your YouTube page? Or you're going to be doing it for IGN? Like, what you talking?
Yeah, we're still figuring it out, and there will be a robust like video with all the details because, of course, we have the Patreon audience that we want to like keep in the loop. But we're basically figuring it out.
We definitely didn't make a cut there.
But yeah, it's still figuring out process. But what's exciting is, even though we do have videos on Small Beans, it's a process of like, how much patronage did we get? What's a reasonable budget? All right, we're going to shoot as funny a sketch as we can in my dad's garage. Or on a good month, we get an off hours episode. Now I'm hooked up back to that corporate, know.
Yeah, get the corporate dough.
Yeah, they want 3 videos a week, so I get to make 3 videos a week, and I love making videos, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I was going to say, cool.
Yeah.
So like 3 videos a week is actually a good amount for, that's actually a lot.
And
to be
it's
honest.
super exciting because
Do you have a backlog? Like
of ideas? Of video game ideas? Oh, for sure. I
kind of figure you've been sitting around just writing ideas down.
One of our highest budget projects at Cracked was a thing called 8 Bits that was 8 standalone, pretty polished like video game sketches.
Bits.
And we had a whole sequel planned, 16 bits. You get it. This guy gets it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Comedy.
And so I'm definitely immediately pitching all of those ideas.
There you go.
And yeah, there's quite a backlog. It's interesting because, and I know a lot of comedians and writers feel this way. Some people have been like, oh, is it going to be weird? Because Crack just commented on pop culture, or even mostly pop culture, but you could sneak in a sketch that was a classic, like whatever, like Kids in the Hall would have.
Yeah.
Or just some funny premise. And some of my friends have been asking, will it be a big deal that it's all video games? I'm like, actually, that is still such a broad umbrella.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to think of ideas when you have a prompt. Mm-hmm. Where it's like we would come to Cracks meetings where everyone's like, what's the funniest that thing you can imagine happening? And it becomes like everyone's self-conscious about it. Like it's almost doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit.
No,
How funny am I?
When they say you can do anything you want, sometimes that's the daunting kind of thing.
Oh, for sure.
Where they say like, oh no, do anything you want with the parameters of whatever football, and I'm like now it's much easier to write jokes because it's like football.
As long as it's
there's football jokes.
It only feels constraining if they're like, write it about this happened to my friend.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Video games is huge.
Exactly. It's such a broad, umbrella.
And I know one of the reasons they think it's a good fit, and I agree, is they're very interested in, which is my favorite, like character and story, because IGN, everyone knows, has sort of is dominant as far as videos that are like, this video game's coming out. What'd you think about it? Here's some footage.
Yeah.
Here are the reviews. We'll talk with the people who made it, etc. Like every base as far as that shit is concerned. But I think they're very eager to get into more like shows. Like, what is a sitcom about video games? And
there you go.
Hey, I'm not going to play my hand here yet.
Of course not. But you got some ideas. That's super cool.
Yeah, and I think they'll be more in the direction of like story-driven stuff or looking at video games in a new light.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You're so corporate now.
Well, I'm definitely going to pitch some kind of like TED Talks of video games. Because on Small Beans, we have a show, One-Upsmanship, the angle of which is that video games are an interesting enough artistic medium to discuss as art, that.
Yeah.
And like the artistic dialectic between gaming and technology and shit. And so I'd love to have, now that I'm going to have IGN clout behind me, like a sociologist talk about video games' effect on society, how it might have gone a different way, or an economist breaking down how it slowly became
the economy of WoW.
It's now more lucrative than film, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And more costly at the same time. Like the highest budget video game is more expensive to make than the highest budget movie, which is shocking to me too. It's interesting how that flip happened.
Yeah, but they had the exact same amount of effects creators though.
Yeah.
You watch the Avengers, like when it comes to the VX guys.
Yeah.
And it
the credits block.
just goes forever. The credit block is just 4 people wide and 1,000 people deep.
It is. And it's funny to have seen, like in a lot of art forms, I feel like graphics have gotten so good. There used to be a way where you could see a trailer and actually tell, like, oh, the people who art designed this didn't try hard. It probably is not going to be good. Or you see like true creativity in the frame and be like, everyone tried hard. You can tell.
Yes.
I can't tell the difference anymore. Every trailer,
it's all blurred.
And maybe this is an old man thing, but every trailer, I'm like, that movie looks fucking amazing. Yeah. And I know that most of them will be
not
bad.
real. Yeah, it's going to be terrible. It's not real and it's terrible, but you know what? It looks great.
It looks great. Movies with scripts that I can't believe made it out of the room. Looks so good. Like, they're still entertaining because it looks so good.
Well, those people who actually they just make trailers now. Like those editors. That's what they do. They make trailers.
Oh yeah, there's career trailer editors.
Yeah, and and honestly, I had a friend do something like that for one of their gigs, and you know what? Fucking slick as fuck.
I bet. It's like one of those secret jobs that actually rules, like voice actor. Like if you get on a path where you get steady voice acting work.
Beautiful.
It's the sweetest gig in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Just all the, you're there to punch up jokes in a script. That's what you do. You're the punch up guy. It's like I don't have to write a script. I just have to make a joke better. I can do that all day.
Yeah. Like Patton, I think, used to just ghost add jokes to Pixar movies, which is hilarious because. Yeah, it was him because he talked about it on stage once. It would have been animated, so they'd pay him a significant sum of money to write jokes that characters could yell off screen during sequences where there's a crowd shot.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like
that's a fucking sweet-ass gig, man.
It's fun and not that stressful.
Yeah.
You're not trying to put your heart on the page or explain the theme.
No, I'm just making some cracks.
It's just like, what if Mr. Potato Head yells, fuck all of this from off camera.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Pay me.
Yeah.
We have to take a little break. We're going to do a little ad thing.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Meditation Minute. I'm your guide, Louis Prada. Thank you for letting me be your brief respite from the hellscape that is your life. Oftentimes in life, we prioritize everyone and everything else over ourselves. This leaves us susceptible to withering away, left to be consumed by stress and anxiety. So, as you close your eyes and take a deep breath in, realize that no man, woman, or child is going to replace you at the top of your list of priorities. Before you can take care of anyone else, you have to take care of yourself. And that's especially true on this sinking cruise ship. The whole reason you went on this Caribbean vacation by yourself was to reconnect with the most important person in your life. You. Just because the ship is sinking 20 miles away from the nearest landmass and everyone is piling into lifeboats with surprising civility doesn't mean you shouldn't push some of them out of the way to ensure your spot on a raft. After all, today it is all about you. That's why you booked that 90-minute shiatsu massage that you were in the middle of when the ship slammed into a coral reef, or was hit with a torpedo. No one's really sure why it's sinking. There are rumors abound. All you know is you were deep into a deliciously indulgent pampering sesh when me time turned into flea time. Putting yourself first is more than just treating yourself. Getting a spot on one of those rafts so you don't become a corpse a team of divers will have to scoop out of the water but they won't be able to identify because the crabs have feasted on your pickled meat is the ultimate expression of self-love. It's exactly what you need to get your mind, body, and spirit in the right place. And that place is at the head of a life raft that you've commandeered because you threatened passengers with a knife that you stole from the dining room amidst the chaos. Now that you're adrift at sea, start a new life on an uninhabited island. Without a soul for miles, you'll never have to worry about prioritizing someone else over your own needs. Ever again. I hope this guided meditation has brought you the serenity you seek. My name is Louis Prada, and this has been Meditation Minute. Namaste.
And we're back.
Yes.
And we're back.
We just choppered in,
Yes.
in case you can faintly hear
in case you can kind of hear that chopper.
That's how I'm going to sell it.
Well, yeah, because I'm near the airport, and I think there's also a helipad there. Because, either that or the LAPD is just really busy in this neighborhood. Because we actually do get a good amount of LAPD helicopters.
I committed a string of violent crimes on my way over. They might be searching.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I have a hole you can hide in. Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You can just stay here until you go to San Francisco.
I know, you have a pool and you have an inflatable duck raft, so I'm just going to flip that,
Just
get in the air pocket.
Just get in the air pocket and just
live there for 18 hours.
Yeah, we can make this work. We can totally make this work. So I have to leave in like maybe about an hour.
For sure.
Because I'm going to see the Joker.
All right.
Yeah,
it's just Joker.
Yeah. Sorry.
Turnabout for the
Joker
song title.
Yes. Yes.
I had to get you once.
Yeah.
Are you going into it with any? I roll my eyes so hard. Political stance on it?
No.
Or are you like, I'm just gonna see the movie and see what I think?
I want to see a movie that looks pretty good. The trailer looks great. Joaquin Phoenix is great. Like, it looks good. Like, it's. I was just reading an interview with who's the director? Todd Phillips.
Sure.
And he was talking about he's like, I don't really do comedy anymore because of woke culture. You know? Yeah.
And
Not
I
woke
was
culture.
like, I disagree with that stance. I'm still allowed to see the movie out of curiosity. Though.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
It doesn't mean I think that was a dumb thing to say. Personally, as a comedian, but it's interesting. Just I don't know if it's my particular cloud of social media, but I think it's almost to the point of like. If you're seeing Joker, people ask, what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
like, why are you seeing Joker?
Yeah, because the trailer is really good.
Yeah, I just like Joaquin.
Yeah, and I like Joaquin Phoenix.
Well, he's always great. I've found he doesn't always, for me, like every script he picks, I can tell he picks it because the role is so juicy.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like Gyllenhaal. Mm-hmm. I trust his choices as a script reader. Like if Gyllenhaal agrees to be in something, for the most part, I'm like, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he has really good taste.
And that's something that's proven over time. Like like exactly. Like Nightcrawler is freaking great.
Oh,
that's
incredible.
That's pretty amazing.
And have you ever read the screenplay for Nightcrawler?
No.
It's just an inspiration to me because the across the page is written as like abstract blank verse poetry. And I'm like doubly inspired because I like people who try new things, but I'm like, and this sold. Someone bought this. Like,
yeah, someone
cool.
bought it, and Gyllenhaal said yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah. It's like coyotes howl as snakes entwine. They are highways, and you're like, okay, tracking shot of a highway. Gotcha.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting script.
Wow, it's like some slam poetry right there.
Yeah.
So, so are you a fan of superheroes and things like that? Are you planning on seeing Joker?
I'm gonna see Joker for the Joaquin reason. Yeah,
but are you not a like a comic book movie fan?
I'm also I am.
Or are you just fatigued?
I guess I'm feeling self-conscious about the political overdose because like I actually
because of woke culture.
I like superhero stuff that. Even though I understand that it comes off cheesy and comedians make jokes about, we're going to take this seriously. Like, a huge tweet was, hey, you guys, a clown, but what if like he was bad? And you're like, I get it. It's stupid
all right.
on its face. But I do love grounded superhero shit where they like Logan, where they're like, let's just take it really seriously for a second.
Yeah.
And see what that feels like. I'm a guy who's huge into lore and cataloging and like Dungeons and Dragons lore, and so like
sword and sorcery kind of stuff.
I thought I was into all the superheroes, and then I have some friends now who really keep up with the comics and knew the storylines and stuff, and I'm familiar with a lot of the artists, and I will like look at their art individually online, but to my great shame, I'm looking back realized I never read the comics ever. Mm-hmm. What I did was like learn about what Spider-Man is and his powers, and now, even to this day, as a 34-year-old man, I'm more interested in Googling, like, is Pennywise a demon or an alien? Okay, why is he? Oh, I see. Yeah. He fights the space turtle. That's stupid, but I'm cramming my brain with this information.
You're into the mythology rather than actually sitting down and reading a fucking 400-page Stephen King book.
And the idea that they really are our myths. Like, I think they're the new Mount Olympus, Mm-hmm. Tony Stark is Zeus? I don't know. Which one was an asshole? But yeah, I do. It's interesting just as an observer of culture, too, because I think they're the closest thing outside of WWE that we have to like myths that were like, yeah, everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Spider-Man's origin story.
I was about to say, I'm so thankful they didn't show Spider-Man's origin story again.
They'll tell you again so you fucking get it. Yeah. Wait, which one is... Oh, yeah, the big news was Tom Holland announced that he's staying Spider-Man.
Yeah, he didn't announce. It was Sony and Disney.
I heard it from him.
Yeah. Do you follow Tom Holland on Twitter?
No, but his Wolf of Wall Street clip went super viral because he announced it by just posting that clip where Leonardo DiCaprio comes into the boardroom and is like, we're staying. We're fucking staying. We're not going.
And so you're not like huge into comics, but you're into video games. Because actually, don't you have like a Twitch stream and all that kind of stuff? Or
yeah. And that's the IGN thing was a really good fit, doubly so because I have up to this point I thought wasted a tremendous amount of time on my deep abiding love of gaming that I've had ever since I was a kid. And now I'm like, it's all worthwhile.
Did you call up like, see, Mom, I told you.
Right.
Told you it was going to pay off someday.
They were like, you have to know a lot about video games and kind of be up to date and have played them a significant amount. Because it's, well, it's, yeah, but it is so different from like, we do a movies podcast and it's so easy. Someone comes and watches the movie and we talk about it. 2-hour commitment and then the recording. People always request that we do like a weekly book club, and I'm like, I can't read a book a week. And it's similar with a video game where we'll say like, oh, we should cover Borderlands 3. All right, 35 hours later, I played through it and I know what the ending is. But it's quite a commitment.
You could probably read it faster almost.
Exactly. I'm just addicted to Wikipedia because I just want the information. That doesn't matter that I have it. You know what I mean? Like,
you just want
it will never serve me in life. The important thing about the book, is to read it and experience the feelings. Mm-hmm. I'm like, cut all that shit.
No.
I just need to know that Pennywise is one of the triumvirate evils from the Megaverse that lives outside of our universe. Got it.
Got it. There you go.
I love trivia.
I can die happy now. Yeah, exactly. I like trivia.
I sometimes trip myself out with like, key movies I haven't seen. Like I've seen Godfather, but not Godfather 2. And I'm like, what if I die and I never saw Godfather 2? And it's like, and?
Yeah. I say it's worthy.
Sure.
I was late to the Godfather party. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't see that until I was in my 20s, like well into my 20s. Scarface I never saw. Never seen Scarface.
I haven't seen Scarface either.
I've seen that poster a zillion fucking times, but I've never actually seen the movie.
And
I played Vice City. And I still haven't seen the fucking movie.
Yeah. And I remember saying to my friends that I was enjoying Vice City because it felt like I was playing Scarface. Then I'm like, but I don't even know what Scarface is. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Man, that changed the game because that was the first game where real music suddenly started playing.
Yeah.
And there's got to be kids today who I think do not appreciate. It was mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah, when you could change the radio stations
and
on
it was a real song. Mm-hmm. That was huge.
I still have a playlist on my computer about that's just Vice City.
Oh,
that's all it is. Like that's how much it affected me.
I went on Spotify and replicated all the Fallout playlists. I'm like, I have to have those. Yeah.
So, what are your favorites?
Oh, game-wise?
Yeah, game-wise.
Fallout's up there, which will make like hardcore gamers sad because I'm a big like lore guy. Mm-hmm. Plot, the feelings it makes me feel. And so I'll forgive, like, Last of Us is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. But the operative word is not even game because it's been pointed out to me by other people in the gaming community that, like, the gameplay part is not that innovative and is clunky and frustrating sometimes. I'm like, yeah. But at the end, he lied to her about the thing and it changed their relationship.
It's the story. Yeah.
And yet at the same time, you question those choices because you're like, does that mean I just like movies?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so you want to pick games that. So I'll also throw out as my second Enter the Gungeon because that is a game that
I don't know that one.
I've been endlessly addicted to for such a long time, and it's like Pac-Man, meaning you know what I mean. There is a plot, but who cares?
Yeah,
it's one of the few games I play to an addictive degree because of the experience is so fun. Enter the Gungeon, highly recommended. It's one of these. This is like a whole subgenre now. I don't know if you played one where. Like Binding of Isaac was one of these.
No, I don't know.
See, I have games cred.
I know, yeah.
I'm a huge indie game guy. I'm well versed in indie games.
Good.
But
you're hired.
Yeah, it's like you go. Thank you, sir. You go into a dungeon over and over, and it's randomly shaped every time, so you can play it. And like there's hundreds of weapons, and the weapons are different and randomly. So. I just love it because it's endless. It's an endless, soothing time waster.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's you can just kind of have the same experience over and over, but it's a little bit different.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, in fact, the most popular Small Beans video, to my shame, is me Twitch streaming Enter the Gungeon and announcing that I'm leaving Cracked. And I'm like, I want our new shit that we're making that's new to beat that in terms of views.
I think I actually saw that.
But I'm pleased that it's Enter the Gungeon.
Honestly, I actually did see that.
That's that game.
Yes, yeah, that's okay. It's that game. Because I remember because I was like, what the fuck? So I'm trying to tune into my, weekly Cracked content.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And so like I had to like look everybody up individually, and then like you were the first people who were like, I'm watching you play this fucking game. You're just like, yeah, this could have been like National Lampoons, but whatever. Like, you know,
that, and I mean, some great pals still work there, and they still put out great videos when they can. But I think fans obviously notice. They're like, the rate with which video content is coming out suddenly changed.
I noticed the week of. You know, yeah, exactly. No, I noticed week of, like just like how everything had changed. You know, yeah. Well, what's his name? Alex, I think.
Yeah, Alex Schmidt.
He was on Jeopardy.
He won on Jeopardy.
He won in Jeopardy.
4 days, I think.
Yeah, no,
he did quite well.
I watch, you know, like I watch it sparingly. My mother watches it religiously, but like, yeah, when it's on, I'll watch it. And I'm like, holy shit, there he is. He's like defending champion. I'm like, holy fuck, good for you. Like, used to write for a comedy website. Like, yes, I did, Alex.
Still does. He's one of the few. He's still
standing.
Holds down the Cracked podcast, which is a great podcast. And he and I did Kurt Vonnegut together, where we actually did read a book a month. Not a week, a month.
Kurt Vonnegut books?
Yeah, but Kurt Vonnegut reads fast. You know? Yeah, he's easy. He writes very straightforwardly, and his books are like 120 pages, so.
Yeah. But I mean, they also don't they have like aliens in them and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, the good ones.
Yeah, only the good ones.
They either have, if they don't have aliens, they have humanity foolishly nuking itself into oblivion. He's that kind of satirist.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So what are you playing right now?
Right now,
what are your games right now?
Last night I was playing Planetfall, which is. Do you know Sid Meier's Civilization?
Of course, yeah.
And do you know XCOM?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's if you were playing Civilization, but every time troops fought, it zoomed in and you did XCOM fighting.
Oh, cool.
And so there's nothing original about it, but I'm like, that's a good Reese's Peanut Butter Cup combo.
That's a mashup right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and
what's it called again?
That one is called Planetfall.
Planetfall, all right.
Which I wish it had a catchier name. It's kind of forgettable, yeah.
That's why I had to ask a second time.
In quick succession, trying to keep up with like the big stuff that's coming out. So Borderlands 3, which I don't really like those games, but I played it out of a duty to know about it.
It's a duty, yeah.
Yeah. And then this super cool indie game called Blasphemous. That's like a classic like SNES Metroid game, you know, going through up and down and through the rooms and expanding the map. And gaining new powers to get into new rooms and shit. But it's all based on perverse Catholic iconography.
Go on.
So, like, one of the bosses is two skeletal hands holding a giant baby whose face is molten gold. And, like, shit, like,
all right.
Like if you just took scary religious imagery, but it doesn't mean anything, it's dope. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of the that Japanese anime? What is it? Not Escaflowne.
Evangelion. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yes. It's like that, where it's kind of like they take a lot of religious iconography, but they don't know exactly what they mean, but it looks great.
Their ship is a cross, and you're like, so are they like the Jesuses or the Pharisees? And they're like, don't think about it that much.
Hush.
Yeah. Like in this game, there's enemies that are guys tied to crosses flying through the air shoot fireballs, and you're like, well, that doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean anything. It's the same way that, like, you know, like Western culture will take kind of like, you know, take some Eastern culture kind of things. And like, it's like, you know, that's a kamikaze thing on your head. Like,
right.
Like, they're like, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like, but do you really know what it means? Like,
right. Like,
it looks cool.
Or does this character have a self-destruction theme we're supposed to be keying into?
No. Honestly, it's badass though. Look at it.
He looks rad.
Just look at it. It looks rad.
Yeah. The trailer will cut nicely.
Yeah, exactly. These guys on crucifixes, they look great.
Yeah.
They look great.
And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Return of Obra Dinn, which you probably haven't heard of.
No, I have not.
Game of the year, people. Game of the year.
Really? All right.
From last year, but I just keep replaying.
Describe it to me. I want to know. Because I've been thinking about jumping like back in a little bit. So
it's a good one for that because it's weird. It's like nothing you've ever played, and it's short. It's do you remember those puzzles in school that would be like, Susie is taller than Jim, but Jim likes bananas, and you draw a grid and
you figure out.
Yeah. It's almost a video game equivalent of that because it's made by one guy who makes the whole game himself. He made one previous game called Papers, Please that's about you're a person at a checkpoint in Soviet-era Russia, and the whole game, you literally just approve or deny people's entry. And it's awesome. It's like riveting. I can't explain why. But this one is a ship comes back in a harbor and everyone is dead. And you have a watch that gives you the ability to, if you find a corpse, see like what its last memories were right before it died.
Okay, yeah.
And you slowly have to figure out, and there's like 85 of them. Everybody, who they are, what their name was, how they died, and at what time, in what order.
And like all 85 people.
Yeah, because you're working for the insurance company, like the East India Insurance Company is trying to not pay any of these people's families' benefits.
All right.
So you're proving like, and it gets to the point where you're like...
You're Edward Norton in Fight Club. You know,
yeah, so you write in your ledger like, well, I can prove conclusively this guy was drowned by a mermaid biting his neck and dragging him underwater. We're not liable for that.
Jesus.
£4 payout to his family.
Is this on Steam? What is this?
Yeah, it's PC only, yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool. And like you can complete it whenever you choose to, and it'll just tell you how well you did. But you can unlock the full story and it becomes this fascinating, labyrinthine, Moby Dick-esque tale of like mutiny and monsters appearing and shit. And it gets to the point where you're like, oh, I can use the watch on that decapitated monkey head and see what the monkey knows. It's really fun.
And it's actually you made it sound a lot more interesting than any game about an insurance broker should be, insurance investigator should be.
That's a fun new trend where people are just like this goose game where you're just a goose, which is obviously the #1 game right now.
Of course.
There was Goat Simulator.
Yes, I've seen that. I've not played that though.
Job. I think there's one now.
It's called Job.
There's one Job Simulator that was like getting through your office day quickly. And I appreciate the novelty, but I don't know that I couldn't fall into like an existential pit of refractory despair. Being like, I'm playing video games when I should be working, and I'm playing a video game that simulates working.
Working, yeah, exactly.
This is life?
Well, there's this guy on YouTube I watch, Gray Still Plays. That guy's like, that guy's hilarious. And he pretty much just always plays just mining simulator, farming simulator, airplane simulator. Like he just finds all these simulators, and that's all he does. And God bless him, he's actually figured out how to make a living.
Right. I know, it's amazing.
Doing other people's livings, simulating other people's livings.
Yeah, but I wouldn't try it. I just constantly remind myself that for every person on YouTube where there's this lady, Bread Face blog. She's great. All she does is mash her face into different bread items, and she makes a lot of money doing she doesn't have to do other stuff. But every time I see that person, I'm like, I should have just done that. Like, why do I try so hard?
Yeah.
You realize there's a sea. There's got to be like millions of people who tried like, what if I'm the guy who eats cactuses? And it got 8 views, and he did it for 5 years, and then he had to go get a real job. And I don't want that life either,
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be that fucking guy.
So do what you love. If it just naturally, organically occurs to you, I like smishing my face into bread,
Yeah, it has to happen organically.
It has to be organic, yeah. I don't think I, as someone who aspires to be in media, could just start cross-indexing things to do on YouTube and to be known for.
Cut to you pulling cactus like quills out of your teeth.
Yeah. Well, I know the guy that invented Keyboard Cat, and I always thought this was so interesting. It was an intentional attempt to make a meme go viral.
I was going to say it was a proactive attempt to make a meme. Yeah, and it worked.
And capitalize on it monetarily, which he still makes money.
I know.
Off of
God
freaking
bless him. No, he did it.
But I don't know. I don't think it'd work out for me.
Well, when we come back from this commercial break, we'll try to come up with a meme. How about that?
There you go.
All right.
That's always a worthwhile pastime.
Oh, of course. So we were just talking about weed.
We were.
Yeah.
It was a weed break.
It was a weed break. So you smoke weed?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Well, we're in California.
I'm smoking it right now. I've perfected boofing weed unnoticeably.
Yeah, no, I've cut back significantly since my teenage years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people around our age who suddenly find that their neurons flip and, like, they're like, hey, that stereotype of being paranoid. They're like, I never even got that. I never felt that. Now that's the only thing that happens. Yeah, I only feel paranoid.
No, I get paranoid and tired now. Like, yeah, it's a sleep aid now.
There you go.
Yeah. Like, I'm okay at rolling joints, and I roll like one joint a month, and that's my month-long joint essentially.
Do you put it out over and over and restart it over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a milk kind of guy.
Like a cowboy. Like,
stew bum? Have you heard that term?
No.
I think it's technically picking up a cigarette off the street that's not finished and smoking that. So you're stew bumming your joint.
Yeah, my own
your
joint,
monthly
though.
joint.
It's less gross because it's my own joint.
By LA standards, that's some old man shit. You're like, it's a party. Let's smoke a 16th of my joint.
Yes.
I'll go get the joint.
The joint, yes.
Little glass case.
Yeah, well, that's how I was raised. Let's put it that way. Weed was precious.
This roach.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Like, I would keep all of my roaches and then I'd roll them into one big joint of just roach joints. Man, that stuff is potent.
Did you ever do any kind of stunt joints? Because in college, of course, there was the guy who would do the cross joint, giant blunt with 2 joints stuck to either side. You light all 3 ends and they smoke simultaneously.
Oh my God, no, I have not.
No, I didn't. I couldn't do any of that stunt shit. I'm just a pipe man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say pipe bong kind of thing.
No, like a big meerschaum pipe, like a Gandalf pipe.
Yes.
That's what I do.
I could see that. Well, just almost holding it like a brandy glass.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I just go to the steps in front of City Hall and I smoke weed out of my meerschaum in my cloak.
It's legal now.
What of it? Yeah.
Just yelling, it's legal now.
Yeah.
Well, you're starting on your...
I'm allowed to do this. Sir, we weren't looking at you.
Well, you are starting on your Gandalf beard.
Yes. I'm actually growing it out because we're going to shoot a sketch. We got through like a fluke. We have access to Shane Black's house, and he has a sitting room that looks exactly like a parlor from like a detective mystery. So we're about to shoot a Clue sketch there, and I'm growing my beard. I felt bad coming over here because normally it would be more professionally trimmed, but
no. I was insulted when you first walked in.
Exactly.
Yes.
That beard.
I was so offended.
My plan is, because I'm going to be Colonel Mustard, it's a Clue sketch, is just to shave this part only.
Just like the reverse soul patch?
So I'm growing out so I can have the big fuck off mutton chops.
Yeah, mutton chops, Fu Manchu.
Yeah,
kind of like
pith helmet, and like a monocle. Talking like this, a pip cheerio and all that.
All right. Martin Mull would be proud.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A ton of, every Clue character is an old person you remember from Cracked. So have you like a reunion sketch.
There you go. Yeah. Have you heard about the Clue remake that they're talking about doing? It was only announced about a week ago.
Well, I heard, because Rian Johnson has that Knives Out movie that I've heard everyone comparing to Clue. But is there a literal
No, there's a literal Clue.
Okay.
Fuck, who's starring in it? Because I think Ryan Reynolds is like producing it.
Oh,
and also
okay.
it is also going to be in it.
I was like, Mr. Green? Professor
No, but
Plum?
I think he's actually going to be in it too.
Okay.
I always thought Clue would make a fantastic Broadway show.
That's another one of those movies that I feel guilt about not having seen.
You've never seen Clue?
Yeah, I haven't seen the classic Clue movie.
Oh, so when I referenced Martin Mull, then you didn't understand what I was talking about.
I do this is a comedian, a comedy writer's power is I know the main 5 things I need to know about everything.
Yes, exactly.
I can pretend I've seen Godfather 2 pretty well.
Yeah, no, I can do that with Doctor Who.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, for us it was Pokemon because everyone at Cracked was still just a little too old to give a shit about Pokemon. Yeah. But you have to in a pie chart. 40% of our content would be Batman related. Yeah. A good 15% would be Pokemon related. And then we would pass those things around like a hot potato. Who knows about Pokemon? Don't fucking look at me, dude.
When we do analytics for our site, honestly, it's mostly butt stuff.
Is how people find the site?
Seriously, people love our butt stuff. They do gangbusters.
Really?
How to tie-dye your butthole for this summer and things like that.
Seasonal enemas for you and your friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was literally a directive for about a month where it's okay, more butt stuff, guys.
Yeah.
We need butt. We need more butt.
Has anyone invented the frenema? A double-sided where you intimately share the experience with a friend simultaneously?
Can I have that?
Yeah, use that.
Okay,
please.
thanks.
That would make a great parody ad, I think.
Yes. Yeah. The frenema. Just a 2-sided dilds. Yeah. So, okay. So you've never seen Clue. So I can't talk. Then I can talk about the Broadway show that I have in mind.
I mean, you can.
No,
my eyes will just glaze over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the whole thing about the movie is that it has 3 different endings. And so
that I know, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember there was a show when I was doing theater. When I was doing theater in London.
Oh, theater.
Oh yes. It was a trial. That was the whole show.
Okay.
And at the end, the jury was the audience, and they voted guilty or not guilty, kind of thing. So
and you got different endings.
So you got
ready?
different endings.
Oh.
And so Clue, the Broadway show, is a similar kind of thing where it's like, if you show up on Monday, it might be different than it is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So so people who are already fans of the movie or fans of the show, you get repeat business, the whole thing. Like sometimes it's Colonel Mustard and sometimes it's all of them.
Oh, it even changes who did it. Yeah, you could have one where they did an strangers on a train thing. They all did it.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Exactly. Sometimes it's the wrench, sometimes it's the candlestick. You never know. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I always I feel like my cheap and easy musical ideas. I don't know why Elvis Costello doesn't have a.
I could see that.
I think his work. He has a lot of story songs that would kick ass. Done through that lens.
Yeah, no, I think the B-52s, I think, are due for a Broadway musical.
For a musical, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
it should be called Rock Lobster.
Everyone can do his voice.
Everybody likes Fred Schneider.
Right, but like when you're casting, it's just like anyone can do that. That's great. Well, the ladies would be harder to cast. They have a unique sound.
Yeah. No, well, Fred Schneider pisses me off sometimes because it's like because it is. Far be it for me to say it's easy what he his singing voice, but at the same time it's like everyone can do it, and it's one of the things where like because he did it, no one can do it ever again because you're always going to do a Fred Schneider.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it when time passes and people forget what it is. Like I've noted, it's amazing.
Like floppy disks and Kurt Cobain. Yeah.
When you get old enough, if you've always been a fan of comedy, you'll see that, like, for example, in Wreck-It Ralph, the character Alan Tudyk plays, the bad guy, the little bald king, that is the voice of a, like, first of all, that voice goes back to Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but in Hanna-Barbera cartoons, the guy doing that voice was ripping off a vaudeville comedian from the 20s.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing to me that, like, so few people would know that guy's name. I can't even bring it to mind.
Yeah. Fatty Arbuckle or whatever.
The stupid voice he invented that's just like, gosh, what if I talked like this?
Yeah.
Like that voice has lived for hundreds of years.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's like, that's a good voice. We should keep that voice.
No,
I like that.
didn't like Jim Neighbors do that or something like that? Like, and then like,
Or like Slim Pickens. Like no one knows that's fucking Slim Pickens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, all right. I'm with you. So you're saying I can pull up a Fred Schneider is what you're trying to say?
I think we're already in the first production meeting.
We're there? Yes,
yeah,
I think it is.
B-52's the musical.
Yeah, Rock Lobster.
Even kinkier.
Starring
boobs.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, if it opened with like Julie Taymor style Lion King puppets of you like as a lobster coming out from under a rock and like flutes trilled, and then all of a sudden you just hard break into Rock Lobster. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, all right. Well, I actually had this. I had another parody band that actually I never did anything with. I actually have a lot of them, but it's.
Do you consider Pete's Underground a parody band?
Yes.
Okay.
We're a comedy band. How about that?
Okay.
We were a comedy band.
Yeah.
We were a comedy outfit because, listen, we had 45-minute sets and we had 22 minutes worth of music. So we had to do 23 minutes worth of bits, essentially, is what it was.
Work.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Are you kidding me? Look at me. No, believe me, we would start singing Plop Dylan songs. They're Bob Dylan songs about poop.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, Pussy Joel. They were Billy Joel songs about cats. I can sing just like a cat. You ought to know meow.
I was going.
Who needs a house with a litter box? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that all you get for your mousies? Seems such a waste of twine. Oh, cats, what it's all about. If cat's moving on, then I'm pussing out. There it is.
All of the red.
So
all of the white. Any yarn you could roll tonight.
There you go. Yeah. See, you're hired. Let's do this. So we had the B-69s.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
that or the B-420s. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. No. It was Cock Lobster, Foam. instead of Rome. Yeah, no, it was
my
like,
favorite B-52.
Yeah,
song,
exactly.
by the way,
69
Rome.
girls, like, we had a, we had them, yeah. Actually, I actually wrote the lyrics to Foam, and it's really disgusting. Yeah, it's almost as gross as
Foam around the girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Foam on down there, girl.
Foam on down there, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's pussy foam, not...
Yes.
Because I was like, that's a stretch, man, to call cum foam.
No,
Pussy
it's
foam. I could
it's
buy
the other.
more.
Yeah, it's you can buy that. Yeah, it's like Lizzo's juice, but more gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel so buoyed up in spirit by Lizzo. You got her album. I listen to that album over and over. It's great.
Yeah, no, she's awesome.
I love that. Yeah, Lizzo's like a figure where everyone's just like, yeah, of course. Yeah, she's great. It goes without saying.
Yeah, no, I've known that girl for about 7 years now.
Oh, what a
Want
blessing.
to hear a sad fact? She used
About Lizzo?
Yeah.
I kind of don't, but go ahead.
She used to open for the Pizza Underground.
Oh.
No, for real.
That's cool. That's not... I didn't want to hear anything that made me think
No,
she's not all right.
no, nothing
She's
that makes her
fine.
feel less than.
Yeah.
No, believe me, I knew her way back when she was like a backup singer for my buddy Harmar Superstar. And the first time I met her, I was like, oh, you're a star. Like,
really? She
right
always
away.
had that star quality.
Because she used to open for him also. And I've never seen, we go to like that, some shit-kicking cowboy town or something like that. And like, I've never seen a woman where like just a small room full of people who've never, like, cowboys, never heard of it. And like, she goes up and like, she got everybody going. She got, and it's like, and also was able to hype up the guy that's, that she's opening for. And
She's
all
a
that
uniter.
Stuff.
She brings people together, man.
She's golden. She's golden. So it's one of those things where like I'm happy for her, and then also kind of oddly jealous in this funny way of kind of like, wait, it's that thing where it's like, I knew them before, before they were cool.
Yeah.
Like that, and it makes me feel really stupid to say something like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, well, then I'll get you off the hook. Same thing. Speaking of musicals, I saw Anais Mitchell because she started on my uncle's record label in like 10 years ago in a coffee shop in Vermont, working out the material for Hadestown in front of like 8 disinterested coffee shop patrons, and I was rapt and like, this is the greatest concept album I've ever heard.
This is it.
And now it's the big Broadway musical. That's so surreal to me. That's the only thing that's happened with me.
Yeah.
My girlfriend saw Kendrick Lamar in a room with like 8 other people way
Right.
back in the day, and that's huge for her. Yeah.
No, I know, and it's one of those things where it's like it's one of those things where you have to pat yourself on the back for saying like, oh, I saw it and I liked it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
and you're like, what you're really saying is that person's very talented, which we all already agree.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, goddamn. Like, because I remember somebody was telling me, like, oh, I was at this house party, and this is like, gosh, like in like 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
And they said at this house party, and we all know this guy, like, or like this girl or whatever. Like, they sit on the commons and just strum their guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And just do that, So, like, I was at this party and just like.
Well, see, kids don't know that used to be Grindr, was just sitting on the common and strumming your acoustic guitar. That's all you got.
I bought my love a cherry. But no, it was like, oh, this girl, she just would not get off the piano and just like, was constantly just like just harmonizing and something. No, it was Alicia Keys. Like, it was still,
right.
it was like, but the whole time they said they're like, the whole time I was listening to them, go, I wish you would get off that fucking piano.
But you want someone to appear and be like, I'm someone from the future. She's allowed to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you just let her do that.
Like future version of yourself just show up.
Be like,
No, shut up for a second. Like,
she's building something here. Yeah.
But at least this person was actually able to admit they're like, no, I thought it was the most annoying thing ever.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
If it's music especially, depends on the context.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear piano noodling if I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm trying to party.
I was
man. Like,
just in a situation where we were in a big house and a bunch of people were tripping, and one guy continuously found himself back at the piano playing the Clocks by Coldplay because it's all he knew.
Oh, God.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And every time, everyone's like, you're ruining the trip for us, man. Like,
Dude,
you gotta stop playing. You only know that part of Clocks by Coldplay.
And you know what? We all know you do, and congratulations.
And he's like, but it sounds so good right now. They're like, to you, I know it does to you.
It'd be great if like all the high people just picked up the piano and took it to the backyard.
Threw it in the pool.
Yeah, threw it in the pool.
Yeah.
I was like, go ahead, no, you You can play. Go ahead. Like, just play in the woods.
It's all yellow over there.
Yeah,
We're going to be over here.
Yeah. So, so you're moving to San Fran. You're doing some IGN stuff.
Yes.
And
International Gaming Network. I should probably know what it stands for before I
is that what it stands?
I've never I'm guessing based on the initials.
All right, Sean, double check that, okay, before you edit this. All right.
Oh no! All right, Sean's already checked it. Imagine Games Network.
Oh, the Imagine Games Network.
That's interesting. They've been around quite a while, so I feel like someone picked that name, not thinking it was a big deal, and now they're just like, just make it IGN, just make it IGN.
We don't know. Of course. Yeah. Everything's initials now.
Imagine.
Yeah. Well, is that so? Anything to do with Spielberg? I don't know.
Yeah. Amblin Games.
Yeah.
Place.
Yeah. Well, didn't he have Imagine? Didn't he have Imagine?
Is Imagine Entertainment Spielberg?
I thought it was.
I think it's Ron
before
Howard.
Amblin. Oh, maybe. Yeah. See, maybe.
Or it might have been them working together. I know that now Ron Howard's like the face of Imagine Entertainment because of Arrested Development.
There you go. So you work for Ron Howard now.
I work for Ron Howard, and I'm going to be hitting on his daughter, Rebel Alley, who doesn't exist.
Rebel Alley Howard?
There's just a lamppost outside the office I plan to hit on continuously, yeah.
Nice. All right. Sounds like you have a plan.
I have a loose plan.
Plan.
I've recently learned the weed there is excellent. That's step one, frankly. Yeah.
Yeah, step one, yeah.
Step two, play video games. Step three,
find an apartment.
Profit.
Yeah. Step equals profit,
It's funny because living in LA, the cost of living's so high that you think you're immune to that shit, but SF's even worse. It is
supposed to be worse, yeah.
I once went to visit a friend in SF who was like, it's not that bad. I only pay $850 a month. And I'm like, that is very reasonable. We got to his place. It was one of those places, storage unit places.
Yeah.
It was a converted storage unit with one shared bathroom for the whole building down the hall. And his room, his storage unit, was so small that the bed had to hang from the ceiling. Because if it was on the floor, it would fill the entire room.
Yeah.
And he's like, only $850 a month?
Yeah. I would love it was hanging from like a bunch of like rusty chains.
Yeah. And he's like, and I'm in the heart of the city. And I'm like, no, I saw the heroin dealer. I know. Yeah.
That is the heart of the city. Yeah. Where are you from originally? Are you from LA?
San Diego.
Okay.
And then went to college at UCSD and then shot up to LA immediately.
So, you never like always, because you were saying earlier that you were just Southern California, the whole SoCal.
I've always been hot and dry, and I like it that way. I'm
really?
wearing a cactus pin on my lapel.
I know. I did notice
I'm
that.
a desert rat.
I know.
It's not going to work out for me because I'm like very much in love with this woman who hates heat and the desert. But when we go camping in the desert, we're driving back and you see those freaking weirdos who live in an RV in just a blank area of desert as far as I can see with like barbed wire
I know those
fence.
types, yes.
I'm like, that looks nice. I could do that. And she's like, that is never going to happen.
I've had a lot of friends who've been tourists in that world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah, you're going to give up.
When you give up on being a trailer person, an outback person. Yeah.
Through Cracked, we did a piece on, do you know Slab City?
Yeah.
Out by the Salton Sea. Yes, we stayed there for like 4 days, and it was intoxicating. Like, there was a guy whose car was a wooden pirate ship, and we just drove around on it all day singing pirate shanties. Then we all got naked and went in the hot springs in the middle of the...
See, that's really cool.
People who don't know,
that's really cool for a day, right?
Yes.
And then 6 months of just singing pirate shanties
and going in the hot springs, and those are the only two things there are.
And having your eyes burned from all the salt.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah, because for the uninitiated, this is a place where there's essentially no laws, and loners go to live because the government's like disavowed it. It's just a bunch of foundation slabs where a city was supposed to be, and it died.
Yeah. No, city was and then died.
Yeah, there was a thriving hotel.
Oh
there
yes,
at one point.
Oh yeah, the Salton Sea.
It was gonna be like Reno or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then just it kept drying and drying and drying until it just became 90% salt.
Now it's where you go.
You want to see dead fish on a shore. Like, there you go.
Or old people living like the poly lifestyle. That was another thing.
Oh yeah.
We were wandering around, and we wandered into an RV that was a library. Like the whole thing was outfitted like a library, And then we saw a sign that's like, don't go in here unless you're part of this group. And this old naked dude comes up to us and we're like, oh shit, sorry, we didn't. And he's like, did you see the sign?
Sorry, I didn't see your cock.
And then he's like, yeah, we don't really like the other Slab City people that come around here. This is just this group of old retirees who came out here to all fuck each other and have orgies out here. And like, we don't want to associate with the rest of you guys. We're like, all right, Mr. Judgy naked old man.
I love how the naked guy comes out and asks you to apologize. Like,
yeah. Well, but I get it. He's like, look, we went all the way the fuck over here.
Yeah, true.
Leave us alone, right? Just leave us alone. My wife died. I'm still alive. I want to get freaky with it in my last chapter.
And isn't it funny? Like, yeah, I mean, look at a lot of those like people who are in those poly kind of things.
Yeah,
are some of the most unattractive people. I mean, no, physically, objectively.
I have been to some orgy parties.
And
the standard is not.
It's not very high.
The standard is about how open you are to the experience, not how attractive you are to other people.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a group of people trying to convince themselves. This was my experience anyway. This is fun, right? Because like this is what people do. But if you all looked at each other, you'd be like, I don't know, like if you were on the street, you're not who I would have approached to try to have sex with, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly.
There's never perfect matches because it's random strangers hooking up.
Yes, no, exactly. Like, you know, it's like someone handing out hors d'oeuvres at like a party and kind of just like, and it's just something brown and lumpy on a Triscuit. And you're like, I don't think I can.
I believe were hors d'oeuvres at an orgy I attended. Yeah. That's the other thing is I liked the ones where they didn't have the pretense of there's going to be food. The ones where they actually set up a little table with chicken wings and deviled eggs, and you're like, I'm not fucking touching that, dude.
I'm not going to eat this and then fuck a stranger.
I don't want your syphilis eggs. I will fuck a stranger.
I will fuck that chubby stranger right there.
But I'm not going to eat your filthy eggs.
But that, sir, is gross.
Yeah, exactly.
That's disgusting. All right, I have to go to Joker.
Oh man, I can't wait.
I know.
I'm excited on your behalf.
You can't wait till I go?
I can't wait for you to experience it. I feel like I'm going to be driving home and just get a mental impulse of what you thought.
All right, cool. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please
I'll send it to you. Thanks for coming, Mr. Michael Swaim.
Oh, I can't believe I made the cut. Thanks for having me.
I can't believe you showed up and you did it and everything. That before you moved to San Fran and everything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to your work over there. It's going to be really cool.
Please, if you've liked my work over the years and you're listening to this, check me out at IGN. There's going to be a lot of crack style videos. They'll just be about video games now.
Fantastic. Do you want to plug your anything else, like your Twitters and your all that kind of fun
Yes, I am at Swaim_corp because all the cracked writers were doing a thing that's now meaningless. DOB Inc., Soren Limited, Brockway LLC.
Oh, you mean some of that crack stuff was funny at the time?
And now you're stuck with it. It's like if you picked a Hotmail name and you're just, damn it. My Hotmail name was PinkH86, which did not age well. But you can find me on Twitter there. All our podcasting efforts, and we do a tremendous amount of podcasting and we'll continue to do so. You can find by searching for Small Beans Audio on your phone, or find our hub where we have all our stuff, including our video sketch content, at patreon.com/smallbeans. Other than that, I don't know how to plug IGN, but look for me there later.
Yeah, it's happening, yeah.
It'll take a couple months, you know how it goes, before you see my face pop up.
Yeah, it's a new job.
But I'll be working there behind the scenes.
There you go. So you can check me out on my Twitter. It's at Incredible Culk. On the Instagram, I'm at Culkamania. And you should leave us a voicemail at the end of the shows because we play them sometimes. The number is 845-393-4629. That's 845 Eazy-E hoax, because we all know Eazy-E was a fake all along. Again, Mr. Swaim, thank you for joining us. It was a good time. Thanks for coming to my backyard.
Oh, get this son the fuck off.
Yeah, there you go. Attaboy. Thanks a lot.
You dialed 845 Eazy-E hoax. I said it's 845 Eazy-E hoax. It might sound dumb, but it's not a joke. It's 845 Eazy-E hoax. Motherfucking hoax. That's 845-393-4629. Motherfucking hoax. Voicemails.
Hey.
We're always getting voicemails.
So I'm doing this instead of making dinner in hopes that it gets on the shelf. Well, that's all I was going to say. In case you were wondering, I am making lasagna. That's all.
Hello, Macaulay Culkin. I just called about requesting about a spanking. Let me just elaborate. My name is Chris, to go along with this message. So if you do voice this in the future, please feel free to use my name. And I didn't mean to be vulgar or inappropriate, just entertaining. But I do have to say it would be a miracle to get a spanking from you in one form or another. All right, peace out.
Hey, Max, this is Rose. I just woke up from a dream where you and Jim Gaffigan decided to take 8 fans with you on a trip to France. I don't know what the fuck that means, but if you decide to go, hit me up. Anyway, suck some dick.
Dude, y'all gotta get fucking Bruce Campbell up in your show, man. What the fuck? Get him in some bunny ears. Also, on that Rhea Carmona episode from August, I know I'm a little bit fucking way past that time, but when y'all were playing clock stoppers or clock blockers, I can't believe both of you fuckers forgot about fisting. You gotta know fisting, fool. All right, fuck y'all.
Megan, what do you want to say to Macaulay Culkin? Oh, man, I hope you're doing well, man. I didn't even know we could do this. It's amazing. So, all the best. Well done. You've done well, mate.
Find me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch.
Oh my God.